So we got a new product here. Company sent it to me for evaluation to check out whether we can use this product in terms of our creating the generator text notification system, which we already did with another product. If you watch my video, you'll see we've done it. But I wanted to look at this product to see whether it was more suitable or easier or had more features than the X111. If you could, we'll open this together, we'll take a look at it, and we'll see what's inside. Okay, so it came in two boxes. From Global Cash. And, I don't know, let's see. This is the main product. And here's the company's information. Okay. Looks like this is the device. And looking at the device, it has internet connection, a network connection, and looks like a mini USB, and that's probably for the extender devices that connect onto there. We'll take a look at that. I don't know what this is for. I don't know. Maybe it hooks onto something? I'm not sure. Has a power cable. Never seen a power cable like that. It must be for international use. You can plug in different connectors and... Okay. Though I think it also uses PPoE. You can get power from the router. But if your router doesn't support it, you get a cable. Okay, now let's look at this. Little instructions, not much. It says download the manual. Alright. So it has sensor inputs, and then it has relay outputs, so you can control various devices. Like I think I can control the hot water in the house, turn it on and off. And it has sensors, and hopefully it'll send out emails and texts when those sensors detect a closed contact. Alright, so it came with this. This is like an expander device. And has this wire. Now the wire this probably plugs into here, the main device. Okay. And then that powers this, and you can see it has voltage sensors, contact closure. That's what we'll need to sense whether the relay is getting is closing the contact because electricity from the generator. And then these look like these you can control over the internet, and you can close a circuit with them, wire them in. I'm not sure exactly how. It doesn't have much instructions. But I'll download it and we'll take a look at it. It does look like it is designed pretty well. These go together? Huh. Yeah, these look like they go together somehow. Well, with no instructions, it's hard to tell, but I'll take a look at it, and it looks like a nice device. My first impression is it's nice hard plastic. Seems pretty well designed. Nice product. So we'll connect it and see how we program it. Okay, so in terms of hooking this up, to finish hooking this up, we have the power cable. Power cable goes in there. Oops. Okay, when you do that, you see a little light go on. And then you plug the network cable in here. And you see the it's booting up. Nice device, pretty well built. And then, of course, this connects to this device, and you can see their little lights are on. And I'm not sure if that means that's open or what, but basically you can pull these out. And I'm not sure, but those, we'll have to read the instructions, but these come out and you can place them in numerous connections in each of those boxes. I'm not sure completely what that means right now. We'll have to review it. Let's see if we pull it out. The wire goes out, and if it makes contact, I guess the light goes on. So it looks like there are two of these contact closures. Then there are voltage sensors. And we'll take a look at it, just to give you a good quick look at it. So I got it all set up, this the global cache system, and I'm going to show you how it works. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited about it because I had some issue with it. It was my fault in setting it up, and I called the company, and they were very helpful. They got on the phone with me, and they walked me through it and explained it to me, and they really were very nice. So I have to tell you, although it's difficult to measure the customer service of a company when you purchase something, I have to tell you that if you do purchase this, you're going to really get excellent customer service. You can call them up. They'll get on the phone with you, and they'll explain to you how this works. So I have over here the global cache system. It's here's the power cable. It's a simple cable hooked into the wall with a transformer. And then here is this. It's hooked up to my router, if you can see. And then over here, this connects to, it's like a mini USB cable. It connects to the breakout box. Now the breakout box, I'll show you, is over here. And if you look on the left, there's a lot of different options. I have it set up to SPST, which is just a switch that'll connect the two. Like the first one connects these two, the second one connects those two. I wanted you to see it so you could see these two can be connected, those two can be connected, then another two. So you can control 4 circuits off of this, and perhaps more if you want to get into the more complex SPDT, DPDT. You can look that up, but basically we're using it as a simple switch. There's also on the right side 4 other circuits that they're contact closure sensors, so it'll sense when these two are connected, or these two, or these two, or these two. Or it can be used as a voltage sensor, where you can, if you move these dip switches down, it'll sense when voltage is applied. Now everything here is up to 24 volts. So you can't plug in 120 volts into here and expect to sense it. But you could hook up a transformer here. So if you're using this, for instance, to sense whether your generator is running, you could basically plug a transformer into your generator and then run the 2 wires here, like, a 12 volt, a 12 volt transformer into here, and then this will pick up whether it's getting the 12 volts. And that would tell you, for instance, if your generator is running or it's not running. And I'll show you how that works. I'll show you how the contact closure works, and we'll look at the switch. So the thing to remember is, I mean, a lot of what we're using it for is, for instance, you may want to control a generator. You could on your iPad basically control the connection of these two wires. And that you could use, for instance, if you wanted to turn on your generator. That would make the connection right here. It would make the connection between the two, and that might send 12 volts to the starter to start your generator. Or you could, in fact, use it to control anything. I mean, you could control, for instance, you can control the hot water in your house. You want the hot water to go off when you're on vacation. You just intercept the thermostat wire, put it there, and it'll break the connection when you're on vacation. And you can do that through your iPad. You can also sense whether you have power coming into the house or power coming in from a generator. And you can see the little lights on the bottom are indicating different things. So we'll show you how it works. And just a word, what I'm doing right now is this is hooked up to my router, and I'm getting an IP address. There's a little app you can download on your phone. It'll look for the IP address that the Itach is getting from your router. So then you can then go on a web page and you can get all the information about it, and you can program it through the web page. Now, as you may know, I'm programming it because I'm getting an internal IP address from my router. It might be, for instance, you plug it in, you might get one like 192.168.1.5. That might be the IP address assigned to this. But of course, that only works in your house. If you want to work out of your house, you have to do one of two things. You have to get software that can run this. So you would get a program that would run it, and that would give you the most flexibility. This company basically is just a hardware company. They're not really interested in making the software. It's compatible with a lot of different software products, so I understand why they're not focusing on the software. So you can get software this way you could run it off your iPhone or Samsung, anywhere in the world. Another option is, if you want to be cheaper about it, you can just use noip.com, and it's no-ip.com, and that'll give you a public IP address which you can use, and then you connect that. You basically program it so it looks to your home router, and it'll be able to access this. It'll be able to access your internal IP address over the internet through a internet IP address. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. You can use it for free. If you want to get more features, there is an option to pay for it. But basically, it's free as long as you log in every so often into the company. And I do use that, the No IP, and it's really excellent. You do have to open a port on your router, because No IP is going to want to dig through your router to reach this device, so it can reach it. So you'll have to do that. It's not that complicated, but that's not really the subject of this video. Okay, so like we said, you can use it over here. So I make sure the lighting's okay. Here, so you can. This is really low voltage, up to 24 volts. So what I'm going to show you, how this works. But instead of using it as a 24 volts, I wanted to show you how to control something that's, for instance, 120 volts. So if you wanted to, if your generator used the 120 volt voltage, or you wanted to control lights in your house, everything in your house pretty much runs on 120 volts. Or 240 volts. You could control your central air conditioning with this device. It's really amazing. I mean, you can control anything with this. It's really, the limit is just your imagination. So, if you want to control a 120 volt device, what you're going to need is, a relay, because this device can only handle up to 24 volts. So the way I've hooked it up is, I have one of these, which is just 12 volts. I've cut off the end, and I'm running the 12 volts through here. So in other words, for instance, the positive is going in here and coming out here. And what that's doing is, I then have it running to a relay that can handle 120 or 140 volts. So if you look at this relay, on the bottom over here, it can be triggered by, if you can see it, 18 or 24 volts, or you can actually trigger this with a 115 volts. So if you wanted to, for instance, send 115 volts, you can then over here turn on these. And I'll show you how it works. So, okay, so basically, just to give you a close-up look of it, this is running from the Itach. It's going here. It's I think it's about mine is about 18 volts coming in from the off the Itach from the transformer, and that's controlling up here. If you look, I have a light bulb attached. It's plugged in. The hot is attached to the light bulb, and the neutral I'm running through the relay up here. See, it's normally open. If you can see, let me see if you can see. It's normally open there, and then the common. So when the Itach energizes this, it'll then connect over there the light bulb, and it'll turn the light bulb on. So we'll see how it works. Basically, you go on the web page, which I'll show you. It's really very easy to use. Here's the web page, and okay, so all you have to do is hold on, it's wired into position number 2. Oh, hold on. And we'll control it from this. Okay, so let's hit current state on, and then hit save the configuration. It's updating. And it turned the light bulb on. So what happened is, on the web page, by making that connection, it sends a signal to the global Itach to close the circuit, which then sent the 18 volts through my other relay, and that turned on the light bulb. So basically with this, you can turn on anything in your house. And if you want to do central air conditioning unit, you could use 2 relays, get the 2 120 volt circuits. That's what we use in the United States, 2 120 volt circuits to get 240. And you can control this from anywhere. So, I mean, isn't that fantastic? When you want it off, you hit off and you hit save configuration. And if you're doing this through no IP, you can do this from anywhere in the world. And there is something of a delay, but it's just because it's going through the internet. Okay, so that's where we are with that. Now, just to show you some of the other features, you can see here everything says the input state is 1111, and if you look at the block, there are little green dots under each of them. So I connected a little wire here just to show you what happens, and if I plug it in, I'm going to make the circuit, and the little green light under there has gone off. See? And if you look on the, oh, it's got to be a good connection. All right, let's push that in. And now, if you look on the state there, let me focus in. Refresh it just to see. It's the state is 0. 0 showing that there's a connection there. So what you could do with that is you could really program this. You could say, for instance, if this senses a connection, you could say, for instance, it senses a flood in your home. Turn on the water pump or anything you want. So basically, you can control lots of things with this. You could sense a lot of different devices, and not only can you sense whether it's a contact closure, but it also has a voltage sensor. So you could it can sense voltage. You can connect this to your circuit breaker in the house to sense whether you have a blackout. You can connect it to your generator to sense whether the generator is putting out power. So it's really very useful, and it's especially useful if you use no IP and you can control this from any country in the world. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention because I think it's really a great product, and it really gives you a lot of flexibility. If you don't want to go with some of those whole house systems, and you really just want to do, let's say, control one or two items in your home, or you're using this really an excellent use in terms of a generator. You want to control your generator. For instance, you could turn a portable generator into something you can control from around the world. Just, you can make the connection over the internet, and you can just play with this. It's really a lot of fun. Oops. And it gives you a lot of flexibility. So if you have any questions or any comments, put it in the comment section. I'd be happy to answer it. But I have to say that it's really a nice product, and it gives you a lot of flexibility in turning your home into a smart home. If you have any questions, just I'd be happy to answer them. Take care and be well.